There it is. Okay, got
Awesome.
it.
What's going
How
on,
you doing,
man?
man?
I'm doing good. I really appreciate your time.
Hey, thank you, brother. Appreciate your time as well.
So, obviously it's been a long time since we've seen you fight, a little bit over, a year and a half. I know that there's nothing you really could have done, to change this, but how difficult has it been, prime of your career, unbelievable momentum, you're on top of the world and everything kind of slows down.
Yeah, it was definitely a humbling year last year, but looking back at it, I wouldn't change it. I've learned so much last year. I got to spend a lot of time with my family and friends and do things outside of the fight game that I wouldn't have been able to do in the fight game. So I'm definitely blessed and at the time I didn't feel like it, but yeah, I think I learned so much, man. And the fighter I am now, the person I am now, definitely needed that momentum to slow down. It was either going to be a loss that slowed it down or the universe slowed me down. And the values and the way I was fighting, I was starting to. I always promised myself coming to sport, that I would always put legacy before money, and I got to the point where I was like really enjoying the money. I was thinking about fighting, but I was thinking about the next thing I'm going to buy, the next investment I'm going to do, and it started kind of shifting my thought process. So last year, I feel like the universe showed me like, hey, if you really want to get to the level you think you can get to, the money shouldn't be a factor. And obviously missed out on a chance to make $1 million. So I feel like, it was a lesson learned.
And so speaking of the $1 million, you were able to kind of just, watch how that played out. What did you think about that? And especially the crazy championship ending?
Crazy, it was very entertaining to sit back and watch these guys compete for the $1 million. We had Danny Sabatello over there talking a lot of crap, making things interesting. We had Rafian, stirring things up with him and Patchy Mix and everybody else that he fought. So it was cool to see that, man. It definitely played out crazy. I had Rafian. I thought Rafian was going to take it all, and I wanted him to win, obviously, because he's my boy, and $1 million can change anybody's life. But Patchy, man, he went out there and he did his damn thing. He went out there and dominated Horiguchi for 5 rounds. Went out there and submitted Magomedov, put him to sleep, and then he hit Rafian with a devastating knee. I don't think anybody saw that coming. When that fight happened and that knee landed, I was just like, whoa, like that. This man is deadly. He's serious right now. You can see the want in his eyes and the hunger in him.
And so is there any part of you that didn't really want to fight Rafian if he would have won, or it's like, hey, business is business, got to take care of it?
I was in the mindset of prepping to fight Rafian, coming last April. And so I think I was ready for it. Definitely, I feel like I'm a big on the universe teaching. I thought the universe showed us both that we're not meant to fight each other,
Mm-hmm.
that we're supposed to stay out of each other's paths. And yeah, man, I tear my ACL. He ends up, getting defeated. So I think that just shows that, we're better off being friends than enemies.
And so speaking of your upcoming fight, obviously you got Patricio Pitbull. Was this something that they were kind of hinting to you, or did you just get a call one day and you're like, wait, you said Patricio? What the hell are you talking about?
Yeah, I mean, I heard that he was definitely thinking about coming down to 35 to become a 3-time champ. And my coach heard that right away. Duke Rufus, he's like, yo, we need to have that fight. That's the fight we should push for. I think it's a good fight. So he was posting on social media, making some little Instagram posts, and Patricio's team saw it and they're interested in it as well. So yeah, I think it's just played out for that, man. Bellator hit us both up. Hey, you guys want to fight? Hell yeah, we want to fight, of course.
And so before we talk a little bit about the stylistic matchup, I would assume that, especially doing a lot of interviews, you're of course preparing for the best Patricio Pitbull he's ever been. But how do you think this weight cut is going to play a factor? Because, going from he's fought at lightweight, now featherweight, going down to bantamweight, that has to be a factor considered that's going to affect him.
For sure. I think it's a factor for anybody, especially as you get older, that extra 10 pounds is rough. I fought at 125 for a lot of my career. And the way I felt at 125 to how I feel at 135 is night and day. You feel more fragile. You start making the weight cut the main goal. You're more worried about the weight cut than the actual fight. But Patricio has so much fights. He's got 40 fights. He's a veteran. He's not going to go out there and be dumb. He's going to put money into his camp. He's going to put money into his nutrition and put himself in the best situation to make weight and be able to become a 3-time world champ. So I'm still expecting the best Patricio, man. I'm not worried about the weight cut. He'll make it, and we'll see who the better man is that night, June 16th.
And so how do you think this fight's going to play out? And, mainly what are you expecting from him?
You know what? I'm expecting Patricio to come out there and fill me out the first round, go and test the range a little bit. But also, I think he's going to push the pace to take me down. I think he's going to try to get me down to the ground and try to kind of get me tired on the ground and go for some submissions and trying to, put me where I usually get put and where I've had, unsuccessful outcomes. So I've seen this fight possibly, him trying to take me down a lot of the fight and me just keeping the fight standing, poking him away, keeping my range, keep throwing stuff that he hasn't seen. He's very used to traditional fighters, and I'm going to go out there and give him a whole new look, a whole different Sergio Pettis than he's prepping for.
And so are you expecting a finish, or is Pitbull kind of the guy, like, you got to expect a war and you really don't know, what's really going to happen when you get in there?
Yeah, I'm more of a guy to just fill things out. Obviously I got to how it plays out in my head. Definitely I'm going for a finish, man. I'm going to be in front of my family and friends in the Midwest, fighting in Chicago. So I'm going to push for that finish, and whatever happens, happens. I feel like I could outclass this man if I truly need to, and keep the game in my world. And I feel like he's not going to be comfortable there.
And so I know, a fight like this, it's kind of annoying to be asked about what's next or like look ahead, but just to make it clear, the plan is, you beat Patricio and then you fight Patchy Mix by the end of the year. Is that like the general plan?
For sure, man. 2023 Jordan year for Sergio Pettis. That would be the ideal year for me, man. Go out there, beat Patricio, Pitbull, and have another fight before the end of the year fighting Patchy Mix. Things are laid out for me. I just got to go out there and stay on track, man. Go out there and become successful, and make sure that I get to these next fights.
Do you know how many fights are left on your contract?
Yeah, I believe there's 2 fights left on my contract, honestly. So yeah, these next 2 fights, and we'll see what happens.
Then we'll, jack it up a little bit.
Yeah. We'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens. Definitely. The number might change.
So I just got 2 more questions for you. I feel like you're a guy where it's like you look at the resume and it's like, holy shit, these last 5 fights have just been phenomenal. But the way people still talk about you, I feel like you're still underrated. Do you still see yourself?
I'm sorry. Okay, there we go.
Can you hear me?
My headphones just died. Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. No, I was just wondering, like, I feel like regardless, your last 2 fights have been against such high level opponents, great performances, but I feel like the general buzz, you still don't get the respect you deserve. Do you feel underrated despite being the champion?
For sure, man. I've been looked over my whole career. Obviously having a brother named Anthony Showtime Pettis, that I've always been looked over my career. And standing at 5'6", a lot of people look over me regardless. But I like it. I like to be that guy that's the underdog, and that it makes me wake up every morning. I want to prove these guys wrong. I want to show everybody that I'm one of the best to do it. And at the end of the day, those are thoughts and their opinions. They don't matter. But I believe that truly I am one of the best to do this, and it's just a matter of time. I still haven't had that breakthrough performance yet. I had a great knockout my last fight, but there's so much more of my game and so much more of me to show that I haven't showed yet. So, yeah, man, I like being that underdog. I like it.
And so last question, April 1st, Anthony Pettis takes out Roy Jones Jr. Dude, you can't tell me that before this year you ever thought your brother was going to beat a boxing legend in boxing. Like
never.
It's got to still be surreal for you.
For sure, man. Roy Jones is somebody we all used to sit together in the front room and watch him fight, So my brother told me about like 5 weeks that he was fighting Roy Jones on April 1st. And I'm like, stop fucking with me, bro. April Fools, I get it. You're gonna April Fools joke, but nah, man. He went out there and he did his thing, man. He took this fight extremely serious. He was very motivated. It was cool to see my brother have that, that hunger in his eyes again. Like he's just like, I'm gonna go out there. I'm gonna show this man I'm better than him. And he went out there and did that in front of his hometown too, in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, at the Pfizer Forum. Man, Anthony's got a legendary career, man. Legendary moments. I'm still proud of him, man. It was definitely buzzing still from that.
And that's all I have for you today. Once again, man, I really appreciate your time and I hope for all the best against Pitbull.
Hey, I appreciate you, Jake, man. Have a good one.
Have a great rest of your day.
You too, brother.